You're listening to the Book Your Dream Clients podcast, episode 19. Today, I am talking about how you can get confident in your offerings. As a coach, you know that we need to have multiple offerings out there so we can be bringing in dream clients and dream students, and this episode will help you get confident in those.
You're listening to the Book Your Dream Clients podcast, where we believe business can be simple and you can use your intuition to run towards your goal. Self-made business and success coach Lindsay Maloney helps you start and scale your dream coaching business. With her step-by-step intuitive and creative guidance, you'll leave ready to put her tips into action, push your business forward, and work with your dream clients. Lindsay is here to help you get unstuck and structure your brilliance into a coaching business that's sustainable and financially exhilarating. Here's your host, Lindsay Maloney.
Before we get started with this episode, I want to talk to you about my program, Standout Coaching Academy, or SOCA as everyone calls it. It's a 90-day program that's going to help you book your dream clients. And this is perfect for you if you are a coach who is ready to create, launch, or scale your coaching business. If you want to fill your calendar up with dream clients who inspire you, and you want to make an impact in the world with work that you feel called to do, I want you to enroll in SOCA. SOCA is an extremely powerful program that will take your coaching business to the next level. And I have 3 ways that you can join me right now, be a part of the 90-day program, join other like-minded women, network with them, learn the best ways that you can build your coaching business just the way that I've created and scaled mine, so you can stop having those sleepless nights with all the information overload and stop doing everything by yourself. So many coaches are struggling to get their businesses started, and I want that to stop right now. So I'm inviting you to go to standoutcoachingacademy.com, check it out, and enroll. Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening again. I can't believe this is the 19th episode, and I just want to remind you to hit subscribe because we're almost at a milestone of downloads, so I would really appreciate that. And thank you so much for sharing everything that you listen to on social media as well. I love seeing that. I love seeing clients and students that listen, and new people and new friends. So keep it up. I love it. Today is something that I am I'm picturing my students and my clients right now when I am giving advice about how to get confidence in your offerings. And what I see right away when I start working with people is the excitement of what they're about to do with their business. And then usually the excitement kind of dials down a little bit because they're realizing that after they get over the process of creation, they have to put their offerings out there. And that makes people feel a little bit timid. They get a little nervous because they're afraid of their reaction. So without getting a little too deep on why things don't even work for us in our business, let's talk about what we need to have in place before we even put anything out there. I think this will be a great starting point. So first of all, when we want to create something for our audience, usually when we're just starting, and our goal always is to be building our list first of people who could be potential clients or students. That's my goal, and that's what I want my students and clients at. That's the goal that I want for them as well. Numbers are great, but the quality is so much more important. So we can have 200 people on our list that are qualified and warm leads, or we can have 2,000 people on our list because we're a part of something online where we got a ton of emails. So the quality of that list is diluted because the amount of people who are interested in your product or your services is a lot smaller because the other percentage is just numbers, right? They don't know what you're about. They didn't really technically choose to be there, and so forth. So I know a lot of times it's tempting to focus on those numbers because you hear about them all the time. People like to share those numbers a lot, and then it makes you feel a little bit intimidated. But let's just wipe all that intimidation away. Let's wipe away all of the the fear we have of building our list. I remember thinking that I had to have, 1,000 people on my list before I could ever launch anything. And once I decided that that's just not true, I mean, of course, the bigger the list, the more the math just tells you the more chances you will have of selling your program. But I know people, I have clients who have launched with under 100 people on their list and have sold their programs. So there's so many odds to this, where as long as you have people who you feel connected to and they feel connected with you as well on your list, following you on social media, that's what really matters. So you can have 10,000 people following you on Instagram, but if none of them really know what you do, it really doesn't matter. You're back to square one, right? That's why numbers don't matter. So we got to get over that first. We got to get over we're not good enough to put anything out there, so we're just going to wait to grow, which kind of defeats the entire purpose. We're jumping ahead of ourselves, and we're saying basically we don't deserve to grow. We don't deserve to help people because we're not good enough. And that's doing yourself a huge disservice to do what you feel called to do. Plus, there's people out there that need you. And when you keep holding yourself back because you don't feel like you're good enough, then either their lives are not going to improve because you are not appearing in front of them, or they're going to go find somebody else, right? And everyone has their group of people that will work with them. There's billions of people out there, right? There's enough people for everybody. There's not a coach or anybody who has all the clients or the students. There's not a course creator who has all the students. It's just not possible. So let's just, again, wipe all of that out, that negativity. And if you have a lot of negativity that you're feeding yourself every single day when you sit down, I get it. And I find myself veering down that road sometimes too. Sometimes I will find somebody on social media that I really look up to, or I just discover them on the fly, and I'll go over and look at their profile, and then I'll go to their site, and then I'll think, oh my gosh, I have a lot of work to do to get to this point. And then I'll start playing that game in my head where I'm like, well, I don't know if I'll ever get there. And then all those vibes just lower and lower and lower and lower. And what happens when you think that way? Negative things happen, or nothing happens, because you put that out there. You put that vibration out there, that's what's going to come back to you. So what I like to tell my clients and students when they're feeling this way and they're feeling really foggy and fuzzy when it comes to their offerings right away, like they don't even know what to create. They're feeling two things. They're not feeling confident in anything that they could put out there, but they don't even know what they should put out there. So they're putting negativity on something that doesn't even exist. So when you do that right away, that's why you have those blocks when it comes to creating something new or creating anything in your business, because you laid out the negativity, you made it all nice and big, and then you're wondering, why is nothing happening? Because you just put all that out there. So one exercise that I like to tell people to do is picture your ideal client, your ideal student, and go to your favorite place. I'm thinking maybe like a coffee shop, or maybe a restaurant, or maybe your home at your dinner table, and you're just listening to her talk about what she is going through in her life or her business. It depends on what kind of coach you are. What's she going through? What are the things that are really working for her? And what is she really struggling with? And just listen to her. So I want you to do that, and also write those things down. This helps you dig deep into her or him and what they're going through. Just listen. Listening is so powerful. And then take notice of what you are itching to just tell her as soon as she's done talking. Don't interrupt her. I know those conversations happen. And if they haven't happened in real life yet, then make it up in your head. Go sit in your office, close your eyes, and just have that conversation in your mind. And then think, okay, there's something that I really want to share with her as soon as she's done talking, and I cannot wait to just tell her that it doesn't have to be so hard. What's that thing? What is that one thing that you wish you could just tell her right now? And once she's done talking, once she's got it all out there and she's sighing because, she just feels like there's no solution to this. She's tried everything. Why don't you write down the things that she's tried and the solutions that maybe she has had or the things she's still stuck on? You're digging really deep into this person's life. And this might be a client that you have worked with in the past or a student, or it just might be some fresh person that you're making up in your mind. And a lot of times this ends up being you anyway. And once she's done talking and sharing every single thing about her life with this struggle or this pain that she has, I want you to start speaking to her and telling her what she could do right now, something small that would give her a quick win, that would make her feel better and more apt to move forward with her goals. What is that first tip that comes right to your brain that you can share with her? What is that? And if it's hard for you to come up with it, go back and do the exercise again. And I guarantee you that something's going to come. Something's going to, oh my gosh, I could just tell her just to do this one thing. I know she will feel a little bit better. I know she'll feel more confident. I know she'll feel more sure of herself and ready to take the next step, right? That's what your first offering, slash freebies, whatever you want to call them, that you have out there that give people that free sample of what you do. And when something comes to you that easy, that's how your confidence is, that's your confidence pushing it out there. That's what you need to go with. We don't need to go online and try and copy somebody else's free offers because that you feel like that works best for them. That's where we get stuck, is when we're trying to do what other people are doing. And when we're not when we're not aligned whatsoever with her or him, and that first thing that comes to your mind, then that's when we get stuck. Is this all making sense to you? When we're trying to live somebody else's life, it doesn't come very easy to us, right? Because that's not where we're supposed to be. We have to go into where we are most at our genius and are most helpful and go with it. And you're going to find that's why I have so many freebies out there, because I feel so aligned with what I do. It's so easy for me to sit down and create a freebie. It's so easy for me to come up with the content for my course, Stand Out Coaching Academy. It's so easy for me to go on client calls and know that they will have a transformation in 30 or 45 minutes. I know that 100%. I feel confident every single time. I always have. I have never gotten on a call nervous about what's going to happen with the next, hour. I've never felt that way because I feel 100% confident in my clients, my students, what I know, and how I can help them, because I've done all of this work. And sometimes if I don't feel quite aligned with what I'm doing, those things happen, life happens, I will go back and do those exercises in my mind because this helps me get back to where I'm supposed to be. I almost picture like you have your table setting and you are there with your client all the time. Every time you sit down at your computer, you're at a table with them every single moment. And sometimes we veer off with our table. We go and visit somewhere else, this other table that looked kind of cool as you were sitting there at your first one. And then you wander off and you're over there and you're like, I don't know if I should be sitting over here. I don't feel right. And then you look back over to where you were and you're like, yeah, that's where I should be. That's what I picture. So another thing that will make you feel more confident in what you're putting out there, whether it's something free or something paid, is how your dream client or your dream student is going to take in that information the best. So I remember a few years ago, I thought I had to go and create videos to get my point across to my dream clients or students. And I was doing them every week for a while. And then I realized this is not something that I enjoy doing whatsoever. It was something I dreaded every single day. I couldn't stand the tech part of it. It was hard for me to work around my kids. It was hard for me to think of ideas. It was just every little bit of it was driving me nuts. But I was comparing myself with other people and how they were getting their message out there, probably to like a super small amount of people I was comparing myself to, and thinking, well, if they do that, then I should do that. So I did it for a while and I absolutely hated it, and it just dragged me down. I dreaded it, and it came across in my videos. It almost looked like I was forced to sit in front of a camera and give advice, and it was not good. The quality wasn't good. I was not aligned whatsoever with this, and it came across very brightly. And then I realized, this is not me. I do not like this. I won't do anything in my business that I don't like. Am I crazy? And we've talked about this multiple times about being your own worst boss. And I was definitely being my own worst boss by forcing myself to give content out to my audience in a way that really, realistically, they don't really like to consume content that way. And once I took a step back and looked at, okay, so my dream clients, my dream students are busy women. And a lot of them don't have the time to sit on their phones and watch a video. And yeah, I still watch videos once in a while, but most of the time it's because the video is informational and I can set it aside and still do something. I can still multitask, right? I don't need to sit there and watch it because I have a full-time job. I have 3 kids. To sit there and have to give a video 100% of my attention is really difficult. I don't really even want to do it. So I knew that the way my clients like to digest information was by listening, reading, and doing. And so I had to adjust the entire framework of how I was delivering my content because it wasn't aligned with me and it wasn't aligned with them. I wasn't getting like a bunch of clients and students because I was doing this. It was not working because I was not aligned with it whatsoever. So I found my way and I do that. And now I have a successful business with my message coming across at 100% confidence, with 100% confidence, because I'm doing exactly what I feel aligned to do. I say alignment a lot, and I'm even looking at the word alignment on my vision board as I'm talking with you guys, which is kind of weird because that was something that was so important for me this year, was having alignment with everything I do. And when that happens, when that alignment comes, everything you do is effortless and simple. So a lot of times students will come to me and they'll wonder how they should get their content out there, and they'll offer suggestions. Should I do video? Should I do a podcast? Should I have a blog? And I say, well, what do you want to do? And they kind of get frustrated because they want just an answer from me, like, okay, you do a blog, you do a podcast, you do video. I would never do that because it would be completely unsuccessful, because I would probably be telling somebody to do something that they don't feel aligned with. And I always ask, well, what do you want to do? And they say, well, I don't really have time to do video, but I can sit and write a blog. Like, I really like writing. And then they kind of answer their own questions. Most of the time, my students answer their own questions as we talk it out. I am not one to give answers, like straightforward answers. I want them to talk it out, and I want them to figure it out themselves, because they're coaches. I want them to coach themselves first, but I will guide them through the process. And I remember one of my coaches always doing that to me, and it would drive me insane. I just wanted them to tell me what to do when it came to things that I knew best what the answer is, but I just wanted permission. And once I figured out what he's doing with all these crazy questions, I was like, okay, I understand. So now I second guess myself every time I want to ask him a question. And then I think, okay, I know what he's going to say anyway, so I'm not even going to ask, because I can coach myself through this decision. And that's what I want my students to do as well. Okay, and some bonus tips for creating offerings with confidence is present them with confidence. Don't just throw up something that doesn't feel, again, aligned with your branding or your message, your big overall message. I want you to give, whether it's a freebie or it's, a program that you're trying to sell or your one-on-one program, I want you to set it up so it looks like you've been doing this forever. And that means having a highly converting sales page template that you're using. And that also means having landing pages that convert well. Make sure it's aligned with your branding, aligned with your copy. Everything that you do should all tie in together beautifully, so it's you all over the place. There's no confusion on anything. There's no confusion on what you're saying, what you're offering. I mean, it goes all the way down to the branding colors and the fonts that you choose. It goes all the way down to that. And while that stuff is very visual and it still matters, it definitely matters. There's a psychology to all of it, and it's really important that it's put together so it's effective, so you can continue growing your audience and helping more and more people, creating that bigger ripple effect through the work that you do and through the work that you feel called to do. So if you have any questions on any of this that I talked about, I would love for you to come on over to our Facebook group, Dream Client Community, and we can have a discussion over there. But until then, I hope that you are feeling more confident in the offerings that you have. I want you to seriously go through the exercises again. If you didn't take notes, go back and listen. Go get the show notes on my website and try it, because I know that this will make you feel more confident in what you do. Want 10 ways for you to start booking your dream clients? I created this workbook for you because I wanted to share my best tips on how I book mine. You're not going to believe how easy these are, and I know you'll be able to take my tips and put them into action ASAP so you can start working with your dream clients. To grab the workbook for free, all you have to do is go to lindsaymaloney.com/podcast. Hey coaches, are you a member of the Book Your Dream Clients community yet? Because you should be. Just go to dreamclientcommunity.com to request free access. We do fun things like website audits, challenges, and we even have a book club. Join the free Dream Client community now, and we'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening to the Book Your Dream Clients podcast. If you want to find out more information how you can work with me, just head on over to my website, lindsaymaloney.com. You will be able to see how you can work with me privately or in a group setting. I'm all about helping you start and scale your coaching business, so I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes and leave a rating and review. And if you want bonus points, take a screenshot of a review and tag me on your Instagram story. I'd love to see it and share it with my audience. And plus, you don't want to miss another episode.